chains on us, put us on slave ships, took us on long trips, beat us with bull whips, until the flesh rip. This show no mercy on us, the Lord's curse is on us, he sick you demons on us. You made us shark food, use us for gator bait, and our wives you raped and didn't hesitate. And when we tried to escape, you cut off hands and feet. And when we cried and pleaded, you hung us from a tree. You burned us from the cross, then sold our children off, drug us from pickup trucks in the deep south. You burned our churches down, destroyed our family structure. You killed the biggest, strongest male till it's still a horror. Put us in cotton fields, took your tobacco. We served Jim Crow and them black coal. Put us in human zoos to entertain you. And when we tried to raise up the dynamite blue.
Christ, our King, is coming to save us. Christ, our King, is coming for vengeance. Christ, our King, is coming to save us. Christ, our King, is coming for redemption. Christ, our King, is coming to save us. Christ, our King, is coming for vengeance. Christ, our King, is coming to save us.
You're listening to In the Streets.
There's no equality, we still in slavery. So why you begging for rights that you would never see? You say I am a man and black lives matter, but they don't hear your cries cause all they see is cattle. So they step you with a brand and I ain't giving you is none. You go to college, prison, frat and do the same damn thing. We mentally destroyed, they change our true God. It's either worship Caesar bow or you get a sword. You tied us to a horse, then tore us apart. We were strong-willed, so you attacked the heart. You did just rape women, you raped the men too. They call it bug breaking, then now it's LGBTQ. Now we brainwashed, call it Stockholm, call it self-hatred, so we kill our own. This is misery, PTSD. Now we frozen in the dead state, yeah, we the walking zombies.
Christ, our King, is coming to save us. Christ, our King, is coming for vengeance. Christ, our King, is coming to save us. Christ, our King, is coming for redemption.
Lord, please come and rescue me. This ain't what life's supposed to be. Our enemies plot against thee to keep us in captivity. They oppress us, they murder us, they kill at will, Lord, they hate us. They hold our steps, they lie in ways, they make us fearful
You're
every
listening
day.
to In the Streets.
We need a savior to come and save us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's coming to save us. It's coming to save us.
The king is coming.
You're listening to In. You're listening to In the Scripts.
We out in the corners, teaching from night to the morning, giving you the warning, showing you that God is coming. Answer your problems, how we rise up from the bottom. But some of you don't want it, cause you think the word of God for it. So we teach in the streets, belly of the beast. Saints in captivity gotta be released. Truth in Christ, I will not lie. We're winning this war and it's not by mine. We're winning this war and it's not by mine. We're winning this war and it's not by. We living in the belly of the beast, at the neck of our enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, at the neck of our enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, at the neck of our enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, at the neck of our enemy. Oh, oh, oh. in hell, can't you tell? Just act 12, only option for your death in jail. Unaware or don't care, but then go vote for the mayor under a spell. Listen here, pay close attention. Grace is sufficient, but your payment is missing. Put away childish things, serve a fiend who you kidding. Tell the truth about the future, don't die reminiscing. Nehemiah 8 and 8 out in every state. I had serving soul food, pray you get a plate. How we get the recipe, gotta have a faith. With the scripts, never get tired, we the patient saints. Preset like a check, take it to the bank. I had cutting fools up like a prison shank. And we doing everything that your preacher can't. Trying to save you from the beast, cause you know they ain't.
We living in the belly of the beast, acting like a vile enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, acting like a vile enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, acting like a vile enemy. Living in the belly of the beast, acting like a vile enemy. Oh.
My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in
Hey, shalom, brothers. Shalom, sisters. Most High in Christ bless. This is Captain Lemuel. Y'all are tuning in the scripts.
Reloaded.
All praise. Who I got on my left?
Officer Yaakov.
Who I got on my right?
Officer Shema.
Who I got on my far right?
Officer LSJ.
Far right.
Officer Jacob.
Far right.
Officer Kashaw.
All praise to the Most High. So, we going to, actually what I want to do is I want to finish up with the brothers. I don't think we got through all the videos last week. I'm going to look in a minute. I don't think we got through all the videos, but some more exhortation, some more encouragement for the brothers to really start to change. And, you know how they say, you got to be the change you want to see.
Right.
You know, there's certain things that even within our lives, our families, our houses, our wives, we got to be the forerunners of change in order to start to see that progress even within our families, within our wives, our children, things like that. So I want to touch on that. And then we're not going bash the sister, because that's how they take it when you start dealing with sisters. We bash them.
Right.
But we are going to point out some insecurities amongst the sisters, and then we're going to give you some biblical solutions. Whether you hear forbearance is neither here nor there for us, because our jobs as men, as the sons of God, as prophets, as kings, as priests, as judges on the earth, it's our job to give you the medicine.
That's right.
And that's it. Whether you take it don't taste good, it's gonna be nasty, it's good. You might want to spit it out. Don't spit it out.
Right.
You just take it, you work on yourself, you fix it, so we can continue to rebuild the nation that has been destroyed to hell and back here in America for a long time.
Yep.
But before we get there, let's get our ear to the street.
All praise to the Most High, man. Y'all know what time it is. Your favorite segment in IUIC radio show.
That's right.
It is Ears to the Streets.
Yeah.
When we go out to our people, we talk about a hot topic that's going on in the community. We want to see what our people think about it. We want to see some righteous commentary. So to Captain's point, last week we talked about the insecurities amongst men. We're going to address the insecurities amongst women today as well. This topic is going to deal with both sides.
That's right.
It's going to be some insecurities with the men. It's going to be some insecurities with the women. It's going to be how we going to bridge the gap, what we going to do about fixing it and making it work.
How we gonna break the gap?
Right. How we going to break the gap. How we going to build the great brick road. Now, Kasha, Officer Kashad, let them know what we got on deck today.
So listen, I know y'all brothers been tuning in to social media and other radio shows. So there is a sister in Houston. She's got the internet going crazy. Of course, they, setting the man against the woman, black man against the black woman, like they normally try to do. And, a sister then got hit upside the head with a brick. So she say.
So she say.
So she say. So, we got some videos. We went out and spoke to the people in the streets, ears to the street, to see what they had to say about that. So we're going to take a look at what our people had to say, just a snippet of what our people had to say.
All praises.
Shalom, Israel. Most High Christ blessed. We here in the scripts reloaded with ears to the street. We here with my brother Keith. So after showing you the video with the sister that supposedly got hit in the head with a brick, give us your first reaction.
We already got a stigma that, we don't love and protect our black women. You dig what I'm saying?
That's what they saying online.
Yeah, and when you look around and look at the background and look at the type of people that's around, those ain't the type of characters who gonna protect and stand up for black women anyway. So I don't consider them men, I consider them like, street people, boys, I didn't see not one man step up and try to help her.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. This is Officer Jacob with IUIC Dallas in the Scripts Reloaded. I'm here with
Paula.
Okay, so we talked about it a little bit off camera. The situation with the sister down in Houston, where she was hit with a brick. Tell us your general thoughts.
Man, so at the end of the day, you keep your hands to yourself.
Okay.
Bingo.
No matter what.
Pause it real quick.
Yep.
Hey, that we gonna talk about it. We gonna let it ride, but we gonna get in depth. That I feel like that right there is the one point that just gets glossed over on this whole conversation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We as responsible adults should all be understanding. We learned it in first and second grade.
Right.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
Right.
You don't want someone physically harming you.
Mm-hmm.
Do not physically harm someone.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's let it play.
That go into the golden rule, don't it?
There you go. There you go. The golden rule, which, by the way, comes from the scriptures. Do as unto others as you will have done unto you. Absolutely. All right, let it play.
Man, so at the end of the day, you keep your hands to yourself.
Okay.
No matter what went on, there's no way a grown man should pick up a brick and hit a woman in the face with it.
Hey, come on.
That's just the end of the story. There's nothing around it. You shouldn't do that.
Hey, listen, man. That was a little snippet. So look, we doing it different. If y'all want the whole video,
right,
take your behind to In the Scripts Reloaded on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Take your behind to IUIC Dallas on YouTube.
That's
and
right.
There you will see the whole video. Hey, we got a real good interview with two sisters last night. Y'all don't want. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss
refreshing
it.
Interview.
So
actually.
Get on. Yes, very refreshing. So get to the page, get to the channel, watch the whole video.
Right.
It's gonna be up there. All praises. Hey, but we In the Scripts Reloaded now. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into these scripts and we're going to reload that thing. That's let's let the first video play. Let's let our people catch up. If you didn't see what's going on, let's let our people catch up to what is happening, and we're going to provide some righteous commentary. Let that number one play.
This man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. What y'all see it? What y'all see it? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man.
Listen though, this is the part we got to focus on. The brother said, "What do you want us to do?" She said, "I want you to be a man." What is that implying?
That they wasn't being men. They wasn't standing up for us men.
There you go. Bruh. So she's saying that it is a man's responsibility
to get in front of that brick,
to get in front of that brick, to protect a woman from violence.
The hell is
so watch this. She's saying, "I want you to be a man. I want you to stand up and protect me."
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me touch that with 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead and do your thing, because
let's really unpack this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me
Yes,
get
sir.
Proverbs 18:17.
Praises.
Because while she's standing here with this cartoon knot on the side of her head, right?
Right.
And she always trying to beckon and get the love of the people and get them on their side.
Right.
Quick. We got to be mindful of a few things real quick, right? What did the scripture say right here?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
He that is first in his own cause seemeth just.
Because right now she's seeming like she a victim. Right now she's
seeming like we heard her first, right?
Right.
So the average response of most people is going to be like, what? Take her side, right?
There you go. There you go.
That's what the brother did.
That's what the brother did, right? Read.
But his neighbor cometh and searcheth him.
His what?
His neighbor cometh and searcheth him.
So meaning he gonna find them out. He gonna examine the matter like the scriptures say. Do.
Right.
We never, in the truth, we never look at one side of a situation, right?
That's right. That's
so
right.
That's what I want to bring out. Right.
Officer Jacob, that precept right there was so well placed and so well timed. I'm telling you why. Because it says when you hear first, they justify in their cause, right?
Right.
But it says the neighbor come in search of them. Now, I was focusing on what she said, that be a man.
Right.
Meaning what? She's implying the principal part of being a man is protecting women.
Right.
So now let's let that neighbor search her out and see what she really feels. Let the next video play. Because she implied, hey, I want you to be a man. I want you to protect. Okay, let's see.
Let's dive back into the psychology of the bricked young lady.
I hope every black woman is kissing another black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers.
Whoa.
This can't be before the brick.
Whoa. No, this is before the brick. She said, black women, we are the innate protectors and providers. It gets worse. Let it play.
Kissing another black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones and the two. Bitch, not even the three. Because men are not providers.
Men are not what? Men are not what?
She said men are not providers.
Or protectors. That's what she said. She said men are not providers or protectors, not innately.
Wow.
But you just wanted a man to be a innate man.
She had him up on the shelf until she needed him, huh?
There you go.
Dang.
You said be a man. By that statement, you are implying that protection is a part of the innate character of a man.
Right.
But you contradict yourself like you pulled that scripture. The neighbor will go out and search him because just a few days before the brick, you said men aren't protectors and providers. Now you want men to protect and provide safety and security from a brick across your face. Now, I want to make this point clear. I'm going to let y'all jump in.
Yeah.
We do not condone violence of any sort.
Right.
We are not saying that it is okay for our sisters to get bricked upside their head. We're not saying we want our brothers to get bricked upside their head. We do not condone violence. However, we do absolutely 1,000% promote accountability.
Right.
That's right.
You have to be responsible for your own actions. You have to be willing to accept the consequences of the things you say and do.
That's right.
Period.
Yo, this sister, I'm convinced that there was no brick. I done seen a few videos now to where her best friend then said that she got jumped by some women.
Oh.
The dude that said he was there and he saw the brick, turns out his girlfriend went on social media and was like, he lives in a whole nother city. He wasn't even there to say he got hit, because then he switched up. And then you got nurses saying that they was there when she was asking to get the saline taken out of her face. I seen a video with an Edomite woman today. She did the whole case closed on him.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm to the point now where I'm like, okay, this is a pattern with her on how to get. She's seeing an opening on black women can collect money just by crying. A black man did this to me, or another woman did this to me, or I'm being abused, so on and so forth. So I don't believe the sister whatsoever.
No, what you're saying is heavy about the collecting money thing, because when you look at it, Bishop brought it out in class last week. She had a GoFundMe that had reached up to like $50,000 or something like that. $52,000. And I think you also said too when
in 2020.
That 2020 she had to GoFundMe. But I think you said last night when we were doing the interviews that her friend has a separate GoFundMe running for her as well, on top of the one that she opened herself. So.
The one in 2020, her friend opened and got about 5,000.
Okay.
This one she opened got the club close to 50,000, and then shut off her social medias to where we ain't heard about the brick since.
She grabbed a quick bag and got up out of there.
Yeah.
Damn.
And if you saw that knot on the side of her head,
for bricks the bags.
Right. Good tagline. You saw that. If you saw the side of her face, right? That was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Now brick. I've been hit with a brick before. It opens the skin up, doesn't it?
Damn, officer, you been hit with a brick.
Of course, man.
You know that's That's one of the insecurities we gonna talk about. today.
I'm see how cool you been here with a brick too.
Hey, a brick, a bat, a stick.
Damn.
Good,
Look like I'm
Hey,
all right.
I was a boy, Damon.
Yeah, I understand.
You're up a boy, man.
I understand. Hey, listen. So look, we talked about, Officer Kashat said, hey, you don't know if it's really real or not. But let's just for a second, let's act like it is, right? Because we have to talk about a larger issue that's going on in our community.
Right.
Is this divide between black men and black women? Because this situation, among others, has caused a large uproar on social media. You got the brother saying one thing, you got the sister saying another thing, and then the interesting thing about it is you have small minorities of brothers that lean on the sister side and small minority of sisters that lean on the brother side. So it's all a mixed bag of what people's opinions are about this type of topic.
And I'm going to venture to say the ones that have taken a position to join her side really haven't heard the whole story. Really haven't heard the opposition, because there's other people that you're going to pull up later on. We're going to see different accounts. So with that said, we let the audience make their own assessment of the matter.
Absolutely. Let's let the third video play. Let's get into the topic about black men protecting black women and, what is our responsibility as a community to one another. Let's listen to that.
Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What are you gonna do?"
Not that lady just got hit in the face with a brick, and not one man stood up.
Boom. Pause. Now, this is the same girl right here in this video, and that's the same night that she got allegedly bricked, right? So now, I made a point earlier about accountability. What our people, and a lot of times, unfortunately, the truth of the matter is you sisters. I just have to be honest. Brothers deal with it too, but it's more so on the sister side. Sisters want to have their cake and eat it too. You want to be able to do the things you want to do and have so much grace and mercy given to you and not take the accountability for your actions. And part of the things we talked about with the sisters we interviewed last night was she mentioned it. Why do we not have more grace and mercy amongst the black community? I would argue we have too much because we go to the point where we don't want to hold each other accountable. And I told the sister last night, I said, grace and mercy and consequences do not have to be mutually exclusive. I can have grace and mercy for you and care for you and have a genuine desire to want to teach you and coach you and help you and hope that you do better from a sincere place. But also understand that you have to pay the consequences for the things that you've done. She's walking around smacking people in the face. Why is nobody talking about this? It's all, men, protect the woman, protect the woman, protect the woman. Why are we not telling a woman, stop putting your hands on people?
Remember I said last night, I said, if it was a brother that the video shows him going around, slapping, punching people in the face, and then he get on the social media, man, so I just got bricked in the face, man, ain't none of these brothers help me out. Everybody be like, bruh, you was out there punching and slapping people. What did you expect? But like you saying, it's too much of that. Oh, it's a woman. Don't let her do that. But no, y'all allowing her to do whatever. Y'all are indirectly saying she can do whatever regardless of any consequences that may come.
You know what? The thing is about it is this. When you have the precedence of automatically stepping in and fixing something for someone and solving the problem for them or protecting them from their own actions, you never create growth.
Right.
Because it's the consequences, it's the figuratively getting bricked upside your head, right? And we always say, you run into a brick wall.
Right.
This is
the brick ran into her.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's the consequences of your actions that make you reflect and say, hey, I maybe need to grow. I maybe need to change. I maybe need to reevaluate the way I'm doing things. Let me get a scripture on that. Give me 2 Corinthians 5:17.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
It said if you become, I'm sorry, I didn't want that one. Give me the one about examine yourselves. I apologize. 13 and 5. I pulled
the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith.
The Bible says you must examine yourselves. When you look at Lamentations 3 and 40, it says, let us search and try our ways. we have to take moral inventory upon ourselves, as the bishop likes to say. You have to examine your characteristics, examine your attitude, examine, we're going to talk about tonight, your insecurities. Because a lot of times as a people, we lash out and act out and do outlandish things because of some hole or insecurity we feel it on the inside. And a lot of times that validation, those likes, those clicks, that attention is that dopamine hit that we are missing. Right? We miss some type of love, some type of connection somewhere in our lives, and now we seeking validation for it on social media, and we so willing to go above and beyond and do crazy things to get it. And to the point where you might get bricked in the face.
Or hitting the brick wall.
Or hitting the brick wall. Right. Let it play.
They don't know that here. You think they owe it to you because you're a man. You're supposed to help. You're supposed to save random strangers. They tried that. You know what y'all did? Said, stay out our business.
Why is that your business? Stay out of women's business.
That's hurting. No.
Hurting who?
Herself.
It ain't you. Mind your business.
It's hurting.
Didn't press charges against the person that was beating you. But all of a sudden, damsel in distress, when you want it. That's not how life works.
Trigger. Now, the sister made a point. She said, men tried to help you, but you said stay out of their business. You said, you know, it ain't got nothing to do with you, so on and so forth. So I told the sisters last night, Officer Kashaw, my statement. I was conjuring it in the car last night. I came up with something.
Bring it out.
Sisters, this is what I need y'all to understand, sisters. The duty or responsibility to protect is paid with the price of respect. I'm going to say it again for the sisters. The duty or responsibility to protect is paid with the price of respect. When we are trying to care for you and tell you, sister, hey, this isn't a good idea. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And you throw back up in our face, nigga, you can't tell me ish. It ain't your responsibility. It ain't your business. Well, why should it be my business when you get bricked upside your head? When you was out there smacking people all over the place. We can't. I saw a perfect video today that explained it. It said a bodyguard. It said when you have the responsibility to protect someone, by nature, you have to have authority. A bodyguard, right? When a celebrity goes to any particular place and they hire their security has to have the full rundown and detail of what's going on, how long it's going on, and who's going to be there before they even get there. And the security has the authority to pull their client and say, hey, look, we got to get out of this room. Don't go over there. Hey, we not moving over there. We moving over here. Why? Because I have the duty to protect you. I have the duty to remove you from harm. Therefore, I must have the authority to correct your ways. I have to be able to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. But our sisters don't want to respect us. They say, niggas ain't ish. I don't need you. So on and so forth. You don't want to yield that authority, and you wonder why you don't receive that protection.
You know something? You struck a nerve right there. You said niggas ain't S, right?
Yeah.
You know, let's look at this from a different perspective, a different lens, right? Give me Sirach 7:27 and 28. Let's see what the wisest man, what the wisest king other than Christ said.
That's right.
Let's look at this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 27. Honor thy father with thy whole heart, and forget not the sorrows of thy mother. Remember that thou was...
I'm sorry. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 7:27. Sorry about that, brother.
No, you are good. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 27. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, that I find not.
Read.
One man among 1,000 have I found.
So he said, I found one man among 1,000. 1 in 1,000, right? That's them very small lies, right? So look what he says about the woman. Read.
But a woman.
But a what?
But a woman.
Read.
Among all those have I not found.
So he says, not in 1,000. I couldn't even find one woman that was worth, there was quality. So to answer that question, N ain't S. You can kind of look at this.
It's kind of flipped
it's
when you think
biblically.
about it.
Yeah. So just wanted to put that out there, man. Kind of.
Hey, it's a good point. Get Judith 8:24. I want to make a point because I want our sisters to understand something. Again, we are not saying that we do not want to protect our women. I made a point to the sisters last night. I said one of the problems that's going to help our sisters solve this black men protecting them epidemic is being married.
Right.
because first and foremost, protection comes from your husband.
That's right.
Right? That's number one. Then we do have a community aspect where we look after one another. For example, we're married, right? I would trust that if I'm out of town, traveling, doing the work like we oftentimes do, when my wife comes to the school with my boys, I know y'all gonna look after her.
Right.
I know y'all gonna make sure she gets to the car safely. I know she gonna make sure she got, if she got something heavy, she's able to handle it, carry it, whatever the case is. But guess what? That's a community that started with the foundation of a family.
Right.
So watch this verse. Read.
8 and 20.
8:24.
The book of Judah, chapter 8 and verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example.
It said, oh what? Oh brethren.
O brethren.
Oh brethren, men, read.
Let us show an example to our brethren.
Let us show an example by the way we carry ourselves. We at IUIC, we about building men of strong moral character.
That's right.
And showing the example by the way we live and by the way we walk. Read.
Because their hearts depend upon us.
Because their what?
Their hearts depend upon us.
So yes, we understand as men, we are the leaders of the community. We understand our women's heart depend upon us. We understand our children's heart depend upon us. And we understand we depend upon one another.
Right.
So we do advocate for protecting our sisters, protecting our families, protecting our people as a community. But again, like I said before, the duty to protect is paid with the price of respect.
Right.
You got to get in line, sisters. You got to get in line. You got to be more feminine, more agreeable, more work-withable, as my dad would say. Be more work-withable.
And more quality.
Right, and more quality.
And the sister said it last night. The sister with 2 boys. She said, I'm raising my boys to be respectful, but I'm not raising them to be no fool.
Right.
So she said if my sons was in the same situation, I wouldn't want them to just be jumping in no just random strangers position, because you can go over there. Now you killed. You got killed just off of some random stuff. You don't know who this woman is. You don't know her background, whatever case is.
That's right.
You know, the sister said it herself. She said, I'm not raising no fools.
Right.
And that's all we were saying. It's like, hey, we don't know the whole story. We're going to wait till it come out, and like it always does, similar to the Carly Russell situation.
Yep.
Finds out, turns out sister's lying for money.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we got one more video. Let's let it play.
This the dude that was from another state, by the way.
Yeah. But you know what? If it did come out that he wasn't there, I still think the point he made is a valid one.
Right.
So let's let it play. Let's see what he says.
Who was there that did not help her when she was getting hit with the brick, right? I feel like people need to know the whole story before they start commenting and say things they don't understand or they don't know. You guys don't even remember who you guys are trying to defend, who you guys are trying to speak up for. This is the same woman that was going around smacking white people in the streets. She's not innocent. She was actually counting the guy to hit her. Why would I go defend somebody that's actually looking for trouble? This woman, she is literally a troublemaker. Everybody that knows her in our community knows she's a troublemaker. I'm not going to risk my life over somebody that's actually out there looking for trouble.
Boom. That's a point right there. Hey, that's a nugget. He said, why would I defend someone who's actually looking for trouble? She's a troublemaker. So it's going back to my point, sisters. You want us to protect you, which is our responsibility and our duty. You have to understand your responsibility and your duty. Your duty is to act with class and decorum and be a respectable young woman. That's your duty, just as much as my duty to protect you. And you know what? One more thing I'll say, and I'll give it to y'all too. Sisters oftentimes will shame us for having standards, but it's okay with them to have standards. I saw a video, the sister said, oh, so you black men, you really telling us that you won't protect us if we're not your wife, your mom, your sister, or yeah, kind of. I mean, that is a standard of family connection that we have to have and have some type of value to want to protect you. Then she moved it on outside the family. She said, oh, so if we're not nice enough, if we're not quiet enough, if we're too loud, yeah, kind of. I mean, a man isn't incentivized to protect another masculine energy, because that masculine energy can protect itself.
Hey, Jacob, you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything and everything.
That's right.
Jesse is easy to find out. You can find anybody or just anybody out there. So just like the Most High got standards, we got standards.
That's
and guess what our standards are based upon? The Most High's.
That's right.
In this Bible. So
in that book.
He told us how to choose a woman. He told a woman how to choose a man, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we prove friends, we prove friendship. All of these things are lined up for a reason.
That's right.
But guess what? When you a woman wanting a woman, a man wanting a man, guess what? The roles have been so diluted and so distorted that we don't know if we're coming or going. So it's imperative that we come back to this right here so we have a standard, just like you said, and an example to leave our people.
Absolutely right, man. Listen, y'all heard it here first, man. As men, our job is to protect and care for our community. But guess what, sisters? You got a responsibility too. You got to get your behind in line, be more feminine, and get on board with the brothers so we can move together as a people. Cap.
That's right.
Back to you.
All praise to the Most High. Y'all give it up. Ears to the street. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a good segment. That was a good segment.
Yeah, man, that was a good one. Now we're gonna deal with the brothers on the front end, and then we're gonna make our way back around to the sisters. So AV, y'all start with number 8. So we were talking. We were dealing with a lot of motivation, inspiration, because that's what brothers need. Inspiration, motivation. We want to be inspired to be able to move. We're inspired by the classes that Deacon Isaac just did with Labor Day, going over those immortal bodies, being clothed on with immortality. When we read the scriptures, we looking at how Christ was moving through the crowd, how he was calming waters. That's some superhero stuff that inspires us.
That's right.
There are things that we can do in this life to move towards that lion-like mentality.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for the men. It applies to sisters as well. You have to understand what are the attributes and characteristics and habits of those superheroes, those lion-like men. What are those traits? What are those qualities? What are those habits? And then you got to model those habits, model those behaviors. Simple as it seems simple,
right?
But as we go through the scriptures, we'll see. It takes a real man, a real woman of God to really say, "Yo, I need to flip my soul right side up." Because we're not just talking about physical, going to get your nails done or your hair done or getting a haircut. That's easy. Okay, I'm gonna become a new man. All right, I'm gonna go get a haircut.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But when it comes down to changing the soul, that's a whole nother level, whole nother realm you playing in.
That's right.
All right, so let's start with some more motivation. So play that at the timestamp.
Real how much time you waste during the day, and most of it is on these fucking computers, phones, Instagramming back and forth, whatever the fuck you call it shit nowadays, tweeting and texting and shit. We waste so much time on our little gadgets. It's unreal. And we talk about we have no time. If you really you have to take your day and write down this one day. Everything you do, write that down, and you're like, my God, I am wasting so much time on frivolous bullshit tonight.
Frivolous bullshit.
Damn.
So, even for us, how much time do y'all think y'all waste? Social media.
Right.
And I'm not talking about stuff you do for the truth, obviously, via social media. I'm talking about the extracurricular stuff. How much time y'all think y'all waste in a day?
I'll say
hours a day. It's got to be hours. There's no time that I think that I would pick my phone up. There's this little puzzle game that I play, and I have myself set to play 5 sets of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that takes me usually about 30 minutes. So if I do that 3 or 4 times in a day, that's an hour and a half to 2 hours or so of downtime that I'm taking, and it possibly more.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
the same
2
number.
hours.
I was gonna say the same number, probably 3. Yeah.
Same. I shudder to think.
I shudder at the thought of how much time.
Is fishing considered?
Yes.
No. I waste a lot of time.
Unless you spin it and say, "Oh, I'm prepping."
I'm prepping.
Yeah.
I'm
prepping. Yeah, get my food right and all that.
That's
Prepping.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I know I spend an ungodly amount of time just scroll. And when I tell you, I know I got something to do. And I will just not even be thinking about it. My vice is
YouTube
Telegram.
Shorts?
No, not even YouTube short. Most times like IG.
Yeah.
And just when I tell you I don't even think about it, I just phone open, Telegram.
Yep.
I know I just looked at it 5 minutes ago. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
I know I just looked at it 43 seconds ago. And just without a thought, I'm on Instagram.
Yeah.
What is it?
Telegram. Yeah.
The same thing with Instagram. Just without a thought, all of a sudden I'm looking at Tough Mudder stuff. Why? Well, I'm looking at a cooking because that's what I'll be looking at. I'll be looking at cooking videos and different Tough Mudder stuff and calisthenic stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, what the hell wrong with me?
If I count that, then it's more because I mean I try to be anyway. But remember, you told me how late I was last week. But I try to regularly once an hour go in. But shit, an hour. If you end up with 10, 12, 14 messages on Telegram, then all of a sudden you going down and you trying to get every. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do.
Yep.
I have what they call notification anxiety. I hate seeing that number when I have even if it's small, it can be 8. I'm like, I gotta clear them. What's going on? I gotta look. I gotta go through and look at the messages. So, and like you said, sometimes you might have just checked it 37 seconds ago. Ain't nothing new came, but you going back out there scrolling through again. That's that's time being wasted.
Yep. Play on.
That down, and you're like, my God, I am wasting so much time on frivolous bullshit. It's not even funny. I mean, it will. If it doesn't infuriate you, it should, because there's so much time. I can't get it in. Look at your schedule. You just wasted 7 hours today on bullshit. I mean, and you don't have an hour a day to try to get something in for yourself. I guarantee everybody can find an hour.
Then it becomes about willingness.
Yeah.
Because most people they're not willing to get up that early or to make those sacrifices required. So it's a function of how badly do you want to change your life and what are you willing to endure to craft that life that you aspire to have, or do you just want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking miserable. It is miserable. I mean, to get up every day or 5 days a week, whatever, when it's snowing, shiny, not shiny, not comfortable, and to go in the gym and work out when you don't want to go to the gym, it is not fun. Yes, and we want it very fast. If you don't see results in the first 2 days or the first week, I'm done. That's the mentality of most people.
Yes, sir.
The struggle is too real. We're not patient. We like in a world where you can Google the best restaurants around me right now, no one is patient. And for you to lose weight, for you to stop drinking, whatever the hell you're going through, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, and a lot of pitfalls, a lot of plateaus. You're gonna hit so many fucking plateaus. If you don't know how to get around that plateau, it's not gonna happen fast. Yeah, everybody wants to hack. There is no hack, man. There's no hack.
What do you think is the biggest stumbling block that most people face with this kind of journey?
Honestly, is they have the woe is me mentality.
The woe is me mentality. My mama, my daddy, well, I didn't grow up knowing about healthy eating. I didn't grow up going to the gym. I didn't see the example, so I don't really know. Woe is me. Now, what I will say is, because for many of us, we try to solve for motivation. How do I motivate myself to lose weight? How do I motivate myself to stop scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media? You're solving for the wrong thing. You don't need to solve for motivation. You need to solve for discipline. You have not gotten to where you need to be, weight-wise, health-wise, in your relationship, whatever, because you're not in your understanding the scriptures, because you're not disciplined. Motivation might get you to wake up. It won't keep you from going back to sleep.
It won't keep you there.
Yeah. No.
It'll get you there, but it won't keep you there.
It won't keep you there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. Now, let's read the scriptures. Let's see if the scriptures bears witness.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
Of what?
Of discipline.
Of what?
Discipline.
Discipline. Discipline. And you know what discipline is? Y'all, I know y'all seen it on social media. What do they say on like social media? Discipline really is. Say something. Whatever you think discipline is.
Discipline is the ability to force yourself to do something that you don't feel like or want to do.
There you go.
Or vice versa, to not do something that you really do want to do.
Discipline is doing the things that you have to do when you don't want to do it. Putting yourself through uncomfortable, inconvenient situations. That's discipline. I only got 3 hours of sleep, but I know I need to read. Discipline, motivation says, I'm not motivated. I'm tired. You're not motivated.
Right.
Discipline says, yeah, but I got to get it in.
Yeah.
Tired as hell, but Hell, if it's a chapter,
I got to do it.
it's a half a chapter. I got to get it in, whatever.
Right.
And then you go through the Holy Spirit of discipline. The children of Israel, the sons and daughters of God, we got what? We got the Holy Spirit. That means we got what? Discipline.
Right.
To do what you need to do. We can all do what we want to do. Discipline is doing what you need to do.
Right.
What you need to do in the face of inconvenience, uncomfortability, pain, adversity. That's what real discipline is. Read it again.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding.
Remove from thoughts that are without understanding. Now go to the next one. Number 9. Stand consistent.
Get out.
How the hell do you do this shit every fucking day? I said, I don't negotiate with myself. Most of us come out here, we explain away why we can't do shit, and we stick in this negotiation process in our mind. You can't negotiate these things. They're definites. Stay hard.
All right, so here's a big thing, especially with for all of us, and especially with sisters, because they always got an excuse for why they can't do something. Stop. Don't give yourself every reason not to do something. Figure out how to get it done. We ain't got to go back and forth about why you can't make it here, why you ain't on time, why you late, the kids done did this, why I couldn't cook that, why I didn't go back. Listen, don't nobody want to hear that. Rather than the excuse of why you can't do something, figure out, okay, how do I solve it? Here's the issue. Like, it really takes some thought process. Get 2 13:5. We're going to go through the scriptures. 2 Corinthians 13:5.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Matter of fact, get Psalms 4 and 4, because I want y'all to see where Paul got that from. So we all know about examine yourself. Psalms 4 and 4.
The book of Psalms, chapter 4 and verse 4. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed.
Commune. You got to commune with yourself. Commune with your own heart upon your bed. Meaning what? It takes serious thought to understand this is the problem. And this is what I need to solve for. So rather than scrolling through and looking for funny dog videos, cat videos, fight videos, I don't know, whatever the hell else y'all be looking at. You know what? Let me see what, I'm going to give you an example. I saw a video, and I don't be just looking for stuff like this.
Fishing videos. I be watching fishing videos. So
but you be prepping. Those are for prepping.
Different.
Fishing for men.
That's a good one.
So I saw a video. It was some Edomite. I think it was an Edomite. And because on Instagram it gives you these recommendations, stuff like that. So I don't know how, but for me, my kids, they at the age now where you can go get your clothes. You get your clothes out for the next day, rather than we spending 20 minutes and you looking for leggings in the morning, find it the night before, just like I did. I had to get my clothes the night before.
It's beautiful, ain't it?
It's beautiful.
Once you get them to that point, you're like,
yeah, 5 years old, for even my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
She got it.
Yeah.
Go get your clothes.
Yep.
Now, kind of the next level of that, I saw this lady, and she was like, and granted, y'all know Edomites be having 1.3 kids.
Right.
So they don't be having housefuls like we do. But that's not an excuse. I just say that, to say, some of the excuses some of the tips and stuff that they come up with is for like 1.2 children.
Right.
It's not necessarily for 5 kids. Plus,
Might not apply to judo all the time.
Yeah. Or you got to figure out how to make it work for your family size.
Right.
So
That's right.
what she did was she had the plastic shoe rack that you can get from Walmart that has the plastic sleeves in it. She was like, put this on the wall and then have your kids pick their clothes out, but they pick them out on Sunday. They pick them out for the whole week.
Ah.
You roll them up and you put
Monday,
Monday,
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday. I
Fire.
said, oh my damn.
Fire.
Oh my God. That saves Jesus.
A lot of time.
That saves how much time?
It does.
You know, they're not having to pick the clothes every single day. It's one day, and you picking an outfit for for 5 days.
Right.
And it's like, damn, imagine if we just went, when I say we, I ain't talking about me, because we ain't really just thinking like that. But imagine for sisters, for our mothers, for the daughters of Sarah, to be looking at different tips like that, and again, just kind of molding it and shaping it to fit your family size.
How it works for you.
How it works for you, exactly.
Watch it, then implement it.
Watch it, and there you go. Actually applying what you seeing. Actually applying.
Stockpiling videos.
Yeah, your save collection is jam-packed. But ain't applied, not now nothing. Ain't cooked now recipe you would have seen. But anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent.
Yeah. But I mean, what you're saying in that though is when you do that, then it helps me to be able to deal with other things that you're dealing with because you got that out of the way.
Yes.
That's not you coming to me or me saying, hey, why isn't XYZ done, which is something that I wanted you to get done. But then you're telling me, well, I had to pick clothes. Well, God damn it, I laid the.
Hey, saying that too is wasting time. Instead of getting stuff done, y'all talking about getting stuff done. And why it's not getting done?
Why we got to go back and forth?
Yeah.
I got one request, maybe two, and none of it requires you giving blood.
Right.
It don't.
Die from it.
No death involved.
Yeah.
You just got to solve for, okay, here's my Lord's request. I got to solve for X, whatever the request is. There's a particular conflict. Granted, there really shouldn't be a conflict because what I say needs to be priority. But nonetheless, let's say there's some, whatever, life. I understand life, sisters. Trust me. I need to solve for this particular conflict. So rather than us going back and forth, a wise woman says, you know what? This is how I'm going to help build my house. I'm going to jump on Pinterest. I'm going to jump on whatever. Proverbs, is it 14:1?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Let's just go through the scripture.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
So a wise woman knows how to build. And guess what? Within the building process, there are risks and issues. Now I'm going project management on y'all. Risks and issues come up all the time when it comes to building. I understand that. We understand that. You as a wise builder, we the master builders.
Right. That's right.
But you being an apprentice under us, you got to learn how to solve for those issues, the risks that come up, the conflicts, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's supplies, materials, whatever. You got to be able to solve for those things because the scripture says what?
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
A wise woman builds her house, buildeth her house. You got to understand how to solve for the issues that come up within that building process. That comes with the wisdom that the Lord endowed in your spirit from the beginning. From the beginning. We're not asking you to do nothing that the Lord didn't already put in your spirit to do. We're not asking you to build a house. We're not asking you to build a literal house. We're asking you to build from within the infrastructure, the physical building that we've already built. The physical house that we built with our hands, now we asking you to, okay, go in and start setting certain things in order within the house. But you ain't got to break your hand and break your back getting on the roof. But I do want you to go hang that picture. I do want you to make sure that it look like something in here. It don't look like a prison in here. Now, you know what the sister's going to say? But I ain't got no money. You don't be having no money. Well, remember Proverbs 31? Oh, y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Are they ready for the conversation?
Working with our own hand. Oh, yeah, nah.
What about our
know.
forefather Tobit? Who?
Yeah.
What about the women's work?
Women's work,
Go
right?
take up that woman's work.
What about women's work? Are we ready to have a conversation? They're not ready to have a conversation.
We might need to have that conversation.
Go ahead, read on.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
You know what part of that plucking it down is you going back and forth, and we talking about solutions more than we searching for and implementing solutions.
Hey, Cap, let me touch what you said. Let me piggyback off
Yes,
that.
sir.
I didn't say lamb back. This I said
No,
piggyback.
you say what you want.
You said the pig was good in all things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go to verse 23. Watch this.
Verse 23. In all labor there is profit.
So instead of talking about walking, how about let's just walk? You know,
That's
let's
it.
do something, right? Right. But keep looking.
But the talk of the lips.
But the what?
The talk of the lips.
The chit chatting and pig Latin. We're not gonna do all of that. We're gonna do this. Read that one more time. But the
talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
Poverty. Okay. So while we talking and we could have had a solution. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's just be about the solution.
That's
Get
it.
out to work.
You know when I'm done talking, this is my favorite phrase I like to say. It's like, oh, you're the only sister on earth with kids and a job. I forgot.
Wow.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Drop the mic after that.
So I was like, all right, obviously,
Womp,
you ain't actually looking for a solution. You just want to talk about what the problem is. So
Hey, you know what's heavy too, to the point that you talk about talking about the problem and not looking for a solution. It's part of the conversation we had with the sisters last night, and she was talking about it seems like men always have to fix it, and sometimes we need you to just listen and hear and feel and validate our emotions. And I'm like, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from, because Deacon Yahshua talked about how people feel more motivated when they feel validated. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, whatever you're talking about is a problem.
right.
And it has to be fixed by definition of it being a problem. It means it has to be solved. It means it has to be. The only way we can receive progress is if we come towards a solution. So, and a lot of times our sisters, because we don't have a lot of healthy marriages in our community, because we don't have a lot of dynamics between a proper household, they don't really know how to deal with the way a man naturally thinks. They think that's something wrong. But what we were trying to tell the sisters is it's natural as men to want to solve and fix the problem. You should be wondering that thing.
You know why? Because we as men don't naturally like to walk around with grudges between us.
That's right.
If you and I have a problem, we're going to figure it out. Now, that solution might be, hey, you know what? You stay on that side of the room, I stay on this side, and we just ain't going to talk back and forth to each other. You know what I mean? And over time, it can build into, you know what, bro? I don't even know why I'm tripping with you. I don't know. And then but we do not like walking around with grudges and that feeling. We got to get that feeling off. Women, however, love bathing in that thing. That grudge and that emotion is a perfume for them, bro. They love to hold on to it, and they at every turn will be contentious and start a fight. And then when you say something, it's your fault. You started the fight. You shouldn't have said nothing to me about my jacked up countenance.
Right.
You shouldn't have tried to fix that. Like, let me have my jacked up countenance moment, sir, in your house, sir. And you're like, no, sis, it's making me uncomfortable.
Right. Y'all crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, let's go to the next one. Discipline. Wait, is this one discipline?
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead.
Do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
People who train every day don't want to train every day. They are not motivated to train every day. They are something else. Motivation is the wrong word. They are not motivated. They are disciplined.
Andrew,
disciplined.
The person who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how they feel, will always beat the person who goes to the gym when they feel like going to the gym.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel,
This man just.
So no matter how you feel, discipline. Go back to the beginning. I want to hear Mike Tyson's again. Go back to. There we go. Go ahead.
Do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
People who
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. Many of us don't want. We in captivity. I don't want to get up 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning to do certain things, whether it's workout, whatever, you going on your walks on lunch, stuff like that. You ain't gonna always feel motivated to do stuff like that, but you gotta be disciplined enough to do it and do it like you love it.
Can I get a script real quick on that?
Hey, I just want to make a statement. I'll let you get the scripture. When you hear this, you have to understand integrity is the cousin of discipline. If you say that you have integrity, you have discipline. Because integrity, remember, integrity is doing what's right even when nobody's watching. That's discipline.
That's right.
It's the same thing.
It's a good point. All praises. Get Colossians 3:23. To Captain's point about, and what Mike Tyson was saying about doing what you hate to do, but doing it as if you love it. Read that.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 23. And whatsoever ye do it heartily, as to the Lord and not unto men.
So one of the ways that will help you do things more heartily or do the things that you don't like to do as if you love it is act as if it is a personal assignment from the Lord. As if you got a direct order from Christ. And most of us know we ain't going to jump bad in front of Christ. Right. At least we think that, right? You know, because we do it, even in this earth we do it. We know who to play with, and then our parents, we didn't jump bad in front of them. Or at work, when the boss come around, everybody tighten up. So how much the more if you had that same motivation as if it came from the Lord. That's how you help yourself do the things that you might not enjoy doing.
That's it. That's it. Go to Proverbs 31:21.
The book of Proverbs.
This is just one example. I'm not going through all of Proverbs 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
So this woman, her children, her household, they dress well because she's disciplined enough to do. I imagine that this black woman in Proverbs 31 probably did not enjoy going out in the snow. Because black people don't really like cold like that. I know very few. But she was disciplined enough to say, you know what? There's something beyond me, and there's something greater than me, and there's something that I need to do, that I need to do it as if I'm doing it for the Lord himself. Because guess what? Guess what, sisters? Guess what, sisters? You are doing it for not only the Lord,
your Lord,
but the Lord.
That's right.
Y'all forget that.
Right.
Bars. You not only are you doing it for the Lord, but you're doing it for the Lord. And so, all the more reason you got to figure out how to push past the pain, how to push past the inconvenience, how to push past being uncomfortable. Unmotivated. How to push past that and really double down on the discipline. Because I'm going to give you an example. There's certain things, like I'm going to give you cooking. Okay, imagine if I had the discipline. When I say I'm speaking generally, not myself personally.
Right.
Imagine if I had the discipline to eat one meal a day. Because I know I don't need to eat more than one meal a day.
Right.
So then I've probably given myself, now obviously, sisters, Jesus Christ, I'm painting a broad brush. I'm not saying every household's the same. I'm not saying there are different factors, hell, blah, blah, whatever. Just listen. Imagine if I'm eating one meal a day. Me and my Lord are eating one meal a day. I'm gonna say it's just the couple, no kids involved. Let's just take the kids out the equation, so sisters don't have a freaking brain aneurysm. One meal a day. So now how much time do you think sisters just got back with reducing their cooking time to just one meal a day?
2 hours at least.
At minimum, you just got back 2 hours. At minimum. So now with that 2 hours, let's start to let's get another job. Let's get a side hustle.
Right.
Because I know that one of the goals is to pay off the car.
Student loans.
Pay off these student loans so we have more money to deploy in other areas like arms for the body. Like my Lord needs to travel overseas. He needs a passport. Whatever it is.
It's been the spider web they've been looking at for 5 days or 5 weeks. I might as well get that. You know, I got 2 hours now. I can get the spider web in the corner.
Yeah, I can start to clean in some other areas. Right. Now let's throw a child or two in the mix. So now I got kids. So now, you may be cooking, one meal and it's for the kids and it's spaghetti and spaghetti's gonna stretch and they'll eat it for lunch and dinner or whatever. So you still got time because you're not even preparing two meals, 3 meals, or whatever for you and your Lord. So now all of a sudden you got a little extra time. And not only that, what are the additional benefits of that 1 meal a day outside of getting your time back? Now all of a sudden your waist is shrinking.
Got more energy.
You got more energy. Now you
become
don't
more
have those same
attractive.
complaints, huh?
That makes you more attractive.
That's
more
what I was about.
desirable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
So
right.
you don't have those same complaints about, oh, well, she done gained 40 pounds, she done gained 50 pounds. Now it's the baby weight. You know?
Somebody in the crowd laughing.
Huh?
Somebody in the audience.
Somebody talk to me.
Yeah, right. Somebody in the
talk
audience,
back to
tell
me.
them, bro.
And guess what, sisters? Guess what? It is what it is. Guess what? Sometimes it ain't the baby weight. The baby is 5 years old.
Right.
Baby's 5 years
Ain't
old.
the baby talking to
Not
me.
baby weights. No more.
Right.
It's you.
That's grown woman weight.
That's grown
right there.
woman
Yeah.
weight.
It looks like I'm
That is Starbucks 4 days a week. That is all the calories from the fried chicken. That's the Popeyes. That's the Chick-fil-A. That's not baby weight.
Right.
Cap, I think it's a
Get
part
mad.
of. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it's a part of what y'all were saying earlier with the Psalms 4 and 4, the communion. Brothers, we especially, we overweight. They burn the fat. Brothers call you lard ass, fat ass, so on and so forth.
Constantly.
You
get it bad.
Right. You'll sit there and you be like, dang, so many brothers clown me today, man. I'm gonna act like it just slid off my shoulder, but I am fat. We internally like, okay, I do need to change it to where eventually, like, all right, man, that's the last brother that's gonna call me a lard ass. I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna start walking, so on and so forth.
Right.
With the sisters, they've got to do the same thing. It's like, okay, it's not a personal attack on you and how you just are in for eternity. We're trying to say, hey, you can do this better with this system. Put this system in place. There's other sisters out there that's doing what you say that you want to do. You can reach out to them, so on and so forth. So you got to commune upon your bed and be honest with yourself before anybody speak to you.
It goes back to something that Cap said from the beginning, though. It's about that trust. A lot of sisters trust their friends or the sisters in the congregation more than they do what their Lord says. So the sisters in the congregation, oh, girl, you going to get it off. Girl, take your time. It's okay. When your Lord is saying, hey, look, you could do X, Y, Z. We can do, look, you saw me shed 10, 15 pounds real quick. Yours might not come off as fast, babe, but come do this with me and let's. No, that's not good. That's not satisfying to my flesh. So a lot of sisters have sisters that build them up into bullshit, just to be honest with you. Rather than telling them, sis, you fat, sis.
Right. Hey,
and let me say this too, sisters, because y'all will get around y'all get around sisters that keep you, just coddle you, and because they don't want nothing more, they don't see nothing better for themselves health wise. The complaints that you have, they right along with you. Yeah, you're right. All these kids, they be doing this. Yeah, they be, as opposed to getting around a sister that's got a solution.
That's the real Me Too movement.
Damn.
Me too.
They call it an echo chamber.
Yes. Yes. As opposed to getting around. Some of y'all even go so far as y'all talk down on sisters that they may post something up where they teaching the kids, or they got the kids at the library or at the gym or something like that, and you'll talk bad about the sister. Some of y'all do that. Yeah, but y'all don't think I know. Oh, I know.
Hey, Cap, to your point, though, the whole show we talking about insecurities, right? And to your point, Officer Kasha, about the lacking of accountability. I think a lot of times the reason why our people, especially our sisters, but brothers too, lack accountability is because it highlights the insecurities. Because when you are being accountable, you have to accept the inadequacies about yourself.
Right.
You have to honestly say, this is a weakness of mine. This is an area I'm not good in. And a lot of times those weaknesses and those insufficiencies cause that insecurity. And we never learned how to properly address our insecurities and how to address accountability and actually make a tangible plan of action to change.
That's right. Hey, just so y'all know, read Sirach chapter 37, starting at verse 10. Read 10 through 14. And as a matter of fact, you're going to have time to do that right now while we go to this short commercial break. We'll be right back. You are tuned in the scripts.
Reloaded. You're listening to In the Scripts. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word.
With the Feast of Tabernacles just weeks away, IUIC is now presenting Feast of Tabernacles Boom Card Decks. The perfect tool to teach your little prophets and princesses all about the Feast of Tabernacles. These Tabernacles Boom Card Decks are available in both English and Spanish. Grab yours today by visiting www.boomlearning.com/author/IUIC.
Hello? Talk to this fucking nigga
You're not-
right now. I am telling you, he's ridiculous.
You called me a nigger.
I called you a nigger. You're a nigger. Nasty nigger.
Don't call me black no more, cause it ain't facts no more. We destroyed mentally, don't whip our backs no more. When I tell that to my people that say I'm hating them folks, and I ain't never burned a cross or hung nobody with rope. They make mockery of us, they say my people a joke. Cause we broke living in ghettos and we strung out on dope. Question, why do we always seek the love of the folks who brought us over here on boats and put them chains on our throats, huh? Making tumults, got us working in fields. Instead of picking cotton, we in plants and mills. They got us running up and down on they football field. But you better not protest cause you in slavery still. You can put your hands up and you can still get killed. Make a GoFundMe account and he retired with meals. Killing blacks and Latinos is a lucrative field. But look at white women wrong and you get immortal. See the curses that we live in every day out here. Can we all get along as a fantasy still? We holding hands, singing songs with the devil for real. When you march and protest, that devil right on your heel. Separate from enemies, the only way we can build another Black Wall Street with a Capitol Hill. They trying to wipe us off the planet with them chemical spill. Cause we God chosen people, they know who we is.
You got something that I want, so run it up. My cup of knowledge kinda empty, pour me up. Yeah, they don't care about us, they don't give a what. And you gon' wanna hear this, baby, turn it up. Tell me who we is, who we are. We are God's only kids. He called us stars, not equal to the other nations. It's segregation, say it with no hesitation. We know our names, we know who we are.
My people is poor, our morale is low. We hated and despised everywhere that we go. The world keep us suppressing, they don't want us to grow. And they govern education, they don't want us to know our nationality. That's who God said we be. They don't want us to be mean, they want us Gary with a T. Young thug with a dress, dope man with a key. Now they can lock you in a cell and destroy your family. Now all we do is march, no justice, no peace. Cause the Ku Klux Klan is the judge and police. We at war with wicked.
Why the kids is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. I understand kids are crazy. I got 5 of them.
Right.
Varying ages.
Right.
I
understand.
know they crazy.
Right.
I know you got a plan to do X, and then they take you all the way back to A and take you all up. I trust me.
Yeah.
I get it. Somebody got a boo-boo. Now all of a sudden you got a diaper to change.
Right.
They done spilled juice all over the place.
Right.
I get it, sisters. Trust me. But again, it's an 80-20 deal. If you can get 80% of the stuff, if you can prep and prepare and solve for the 80% of your issues, the other 20%, you know, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, whatever. But it not a life-changing, dramatic. It's not as life-changing or dramatic as, like you said, when you living off the seat of your dress, you plan for nothing. You have no today. There's a now. Damn, I'm getting off. AV may be able to look it up on the back end. There's a kind of a saying where you plan for tomorrow today. You don't wait for tomorrow and start. You don't wait till 7 a.m. to start planning out your day. You got to plan the day before, a couple of days before.
Right.
And that way, when life happens that day, you can course correct and you can adjust outside of obviously major stuff, car wrecks and stuff like that.
Right.
But some of the, certain other things, that's just a part of you building your house. It just is what it is.
Captain.
13. Yeah. No, go ahead.
What they say in the education world is they say when you're dealing with behavior issues, because you'll have those teachers that just don't got good classroom management skills. They said a lot of times when you're dealing with those classrooms where it's like you can't figure out what's going on while the kid's acting chaotic, they always say, okay, it's because you lack the routine and structure. You don't have routine and structure in your classroom, so the kids come in and they see that, oh, you don't even know what you're doing right now. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's what it is. Just lack of routine and structure.
Structure and routine. That's it. It's structure and routine. Sirach 13 and 15.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 15. Every beast loveth his life.
So guess what, sisters? If you love to complain, you're going to find a beast that complains. Because every beast does what?
Loveth his like.
Yep. If you love disorganization, if you love lack of structure, guess what? You're going to find a beast that lacks structure. Now, y'all can be mad because I'm saying beast. I'm reading the scripture. Go ahead.
Right. Every beast loveth his like. And every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind.
So guess what? You consort or you consult with your kind. So if you lack structure and you lack the accountability to be honest with yourself and say, I lack structure, you're going to get around other sisters that lack structure. And then what y'all going to do? Rather than solving for it, because that's what a wise builder does, according to Proverbs 14 and 1, you're going to continue to complain, and you're going to find a sister that loves to complain rather than solving for it. And then you're going to get it, and then you're going to get mad at us and say, well, you always blaming me for da-da-da-da. I ain't blaming you. Even though it's your fault. What I'm saying is you need to figure out how to fix it. That's it. That's it.
That's right.
Was that it on that verse?
And a man will cleave to his like.
And a man will cleave to his like.
Right.
So what am I saying? As opposed to getting mad and talking bad and talking crazy about the sisters that have some level of structure and organization, you need to get around. You need to glean from those sisters and figure out what can you take from their routine, their organization, their structure, and how can you form fit it for your life. Because they may be single sister and kids, whatever, but the kids have some structure, whatever the case is. You married, you got they married, they only got one child, but you got 5, so you got to form fit it around your life, and that's understandable. It's not every household is not going to look the exact same, but there's certain principles that every house has, like a physical house. Every house has a foundation. Right? Where it is it red sand? I ain't the construction guy, but every house has wood beams. Every house has nails and screws and everything else. How long, how short, where they are. Is it a 1-story? Is it 2-story? Is it? But yeah, the details may be different. You know, a few of the minor details, but they all got the same structure.
Same foundation.
Same foundation.
Right.
Y'all had something?
No. I was thinking the exact same thing, though. I mean,
oh, I'm sorry. Before I forget, don't miss your point. Sisters in the chat on YouTube. Post in the chat. Why is it a struggle? Why is it a struggle for sisters to form or start to construct the organization, the structure around their lives? Is there a common theme that you hear amongst women, even sisters on Telegram that you watching? Maybe you got something. Throw it out there. Right. We would love to hear. Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Hey, real quick, on the In the Scripts channel, there's a lot of people that are saying that the sound is very low. Mic check. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 right here that are saying that the sound is very low. So make sure that the sound is up. Make sure that we're good on that end.
Go ahead with your point, LSJ. Don't forget your point. All right, go ahead.
Sir.
Yeah, so I'm saying, yes, absolutely. Like you said, instead of looking at sisters that are just like you, yes, get uncomfortable. Look at the sister who you see. Remember, the scripture says to esteem others as better than yourself. And the problem is you don't want to give credit to somebody else as being better than you at something. So because of that, you don't want to watch what they're doing.
So
you know what I mean?
So you mean to tell me, officers, they hating their sister in their heart?
Crabs in a barrel?
Come on.
Not crabs in a barrel.
Yes, esteem that sister is better. If you see that it's working for her, because like Cap said, it may not work the exact same way for you, but it's something that you could add to your house. Bishop tells us study, pray, apply. And he's talking about scriptures, right? But guess what? If you study your sister with a better habit than yours,
right,
pray for that spirit to be on you and then apply it, guess what? You're going to be good at it as she is. So it goes, it's spiritual and physical. Like you can actually study, pray, apply in the literal.
Right. And you may be able to add certain things like, yo, I applied what you said, and then I found this little tweak that may be that fits for a larger family. Like that's how you really start to build and rebuild, because that's what we're doing. We literally rebuilding a nation. And it starts with your own house first. First and foremost. Go ahead, LSJ.
So we were talking about it on break about the getting in shape and the eating right and the baby fat and all this and all that. We talked about some of the excuses and insecurities that sisters have. And I found that a lot of times sisters, they blame the snacks and the bad habits of eating on the kids too. So it ain't just the actual weight, because you said, if you can prepare and eat right, it ain't just the actual weight that comes from holding on to baby. It's even the stuff they eating that they blaming on the kids. Because I had a conversation with a sister at one of the events that we had. She asked me, they say, hey, officer, it look like you've been losing weight. What you been doing? I said, hey, 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting. It works. I'm telling you right now, it works. 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting. She told me, she said, well, I have a problem with snacking. I eat, unhealthy snacks and so on and so forth. I said, hey, you looking in the mirror. That's my thing as well. But I made a new rule within my household is it can't cross the threshold of the door. It can't even be in here.
Right.
That's the rule. And I will have a plumb fit with my wife if I see some crap in the house that shouldn't be there. It just is what it is. So the sister tell me, well, what about for the kids? They deserve to eat that stuff too. I said, damn, sister, why? What the hell is this? Like I was asking, Cap, where did this universal rule of kids have to be shoved with pounds of sugar come from? They gotta have fruit snacks. They gotta have cookies. They gotta have. That's just something that we like subconsciously believe in our head and then just forcibly implemented in our life. There's nowhere written ever where that's supposed to be that way.
That's that. You asked the question. I'm gonna go on a limb for you.
Yeah.
So that same thought process to produce that is the same way to produce Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter. It's that same spirit, right?
Right.
It's for the kids.
And officers that a lot of us, well, myself, my grandmother didn't just give me a bunch of snacks and stuff like that. Some of our people, they grow up and they be like, dang, my grandmother didn't give me that. I'm gonna make sure I be the opposite. I'm gonna give my grandbaby everything they want. I'm gonna give my son everything they want. They go on the complete contrary because they think they got held back from something.
Right.
But you know, you can train your kids to like fruits and vegetables.
Right.
Like my sons, they grew up eating fruit, so they look. My son, he's like, watermelon. Every time he see me with it, watermelon. Hey, mom, want some grapes? Great. Like he loved that stuff because you train him over time to do
But
it.
if the mother, who is the first teacher, doesn't eat it, she can only teach them kids not to eat it.
Right.
And they're gonna be the same way.
That's right.
And that's what I was saying to LSJ's point on break, is that a lot of sisters, you don't have a care for your own meat and diet. Why in all the hell would you care about your kids' meat and diet?
Right.
You got it starts with you. When you really start to change and you say, you know what, the whatever your vice is, I gotta fix myself first. And then when I start to reform my mind around, if I eat all these cookies, my insulin level is going to go through the roof, and then my body's response is going to be to store fat. Like, that's it. It's not rocket science. I got that from an Instagram video. Couple of them.
Hey,
when your insulin levels go up from all the sugar, the cookies, and all of that, not only does it stay high for extended hours at a time, but then your body's response is to do what? Store the glucose as fat.
Right.
So now you're full of calories.
Now you're full of
Wake up,
unnecessary sugary fructose.
But you was in the you pulled the video on that. You pulled the clip on that. Yep. Hey, play number 6.
Oh, damn. I completely forgot about that.
Play number 6.
Listen, somebody told me this, and I know this to be true. Your kitchen is supposed to be your hospital for your family. What kind of hospital your mama gave you? Little babies eating McDonald's fries all week.
I like that. That's a cold saying right there.
It's the truth. Your kitchen is supposed to be the hospital for your family. Your family is strong and healthy because of your kitchen. How many bitches can say that? Who you know that makes sure they take care of their family? I'm not saying there's none who don't.
Right.
But I'm saying most situations in America, your family is raised off garbage. Your kitchen is full of Little Debbie's and motherfucking
Twinkies.
A lot of bitch kitchens is for decoration. Them bitches don't even go in now.
Hey, hey, real quick. Hey, you know,
funny, man.
To the point with the whole thing we've been talking about is the insecurities. I had read an article. I can't remember what the source was, but I had read an article that talked about how your food has an effect on your mind as well. How when you're not properly nourished with the necessary vitamins and minerals and nutrients and things you have, it can lead to you feeling more tired. It can lead to you losing focus.
Right.
It can even lead to feelings of depression, anxiety, all because of the things that you put, especially when you start adding in the fact that all these processed foods and all these chemicals and all this crap they putting in there that has an imbalance with our body. And a lot of times we can help our insecurities and our mental fortitude by eating better. Like one quick example. The hormone for happiness, one of them is called serotonin. Bananas, very high in serotonin.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, eat a banana in the morning, boom, now you got a little boost of serotonin, you feel better, you got more energy, you go throughout your day feeling better. One little thing that we could do is for eating right can help us not just physically but mentally as well.
You are what you eat.
There you go.
Hey, give me 1 Timothy 4:8 real quick. To solidify Officer's point and just to bring out another point about that. Just give me the top part.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 8. For bodily exercise profited little.
So it's not always going to the gym and working out. That's just a little of it. What Officer is telling you, your eating habits is a big part of it. So try to change the eating habits and you can change your life.
Also, you know how we saw that growing up, or at least myself, when me and my brothers, we would always go back and forth to the fridge. So if me and my brothers, we always, and the parents would be like, y'all always up in and out of the fridge, is because the stuff that we're eating, like you said, Officer, it lacks minerals. It ain't nutritious. It's just junk food. And that's, like we were talking about earlier, the lack of structure and lack of routine. So it's like, oh, she ain't really got a nutritious meal plan. So I'm gonna go up in here, you know, she at work, single parent household, like we were talking about last day. I'm gonna go up in here, I'm gonna just eat this stuff until she get here with the, you know, Little Caesars pizzas, you know, Domino's, whatever the case is. Yeah. But, you know, that plays into our mindset, how we feeling. And, you know, everybody just around here mad. It's a whole house full of mad people. And y'all, and this one simple thing that make that better is preparing a nutritious meal for your household on a Sunday, you know, for the next 2 days maybe, or next 3 days.
Here's one of the issues, officer. Go to 2 Kings 4:40. Here's one of the issues, because a lot of women feed their kids Little Debbie snack cakes, and they always taking them, bringing them McDonald's and stopping by Domino's on the way home, or Little Caesars, because of this. Read
the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4 and verse 40. So they poured out for the men to eat, and it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage, that they cried out and said, "Oh, that man! Oh, thou man of God, there is death in the pot."
Some of these women can't cook.
They can't cook.
Damn. They can't cook.
And they could not eat thereof.
Because you can't eat that stuff. Damn. Mama just could buy some. You know, Mama, last time you cooked, we didn't like it.
Hey,
you bring home some
you saw the little kid telling his mama she need to learn how to cook black people food. He said, "It's always Mexican food. I'm tired of eating Mexican food." He said, "You need to learn how to cook some fried chicken, green beans." He started listing off Judah food.
Some real food.
We spend so much time scrolling on Instagram anyway. Like you said, get them daggone cooking videos and recipes and start applying them. Yeah.
Yep. Don't save another video until you make the last video that you just made.
Right. Take some classes.
For real.
Take some classes.
And you know what? Because I can hear a sister right now saying she's blaming her husband. She's looking at him and saying, "Well, what about you? What about you?
Right.
You buy such and such. You get such and such for the kid. You did it such kids, whatever."
Yep.
Granted, for us, we with the kids such a small amount of time. Let's hear what God said about the women and the children. Titus chapter 2.
Bring it out.
Verse 4.
Bring it
Not
out.
4. 4.
Verse 4.
Titus, the book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 4.
Start at verse 3.
Verse 3, or tree.
Verse 3.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
So, and this goes back to sisters have to have the spirit to be able to teach and multiply those talents that they have. Like certain sisters that are just naturally good at organization. Imagine if you got a channel or something like that where that's all you teaching is organization.
Right.
Some sisters are just naturally good with teaching. I'm talking about like education, letters, numbers, whatever. Imagine if you got a channel, you got something like that where that's all you're doing and that's all sisters are seeing. Imagine. Because you can find BS without even thinking about it on IG or whatever.
Right.
Hell, it'll find you.
It'll find you. But imagine if you have somewhere where you can go to and you just got stuff on rotation, on repeat. It says that they not giving them much wine.
Not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
So watch this. And with those that have those talents, those skills, and those abilities, on the flip side of that, sisters, you got to be able to be a student, a disciple, receive what's being taught, and actually apply it. Like, you know, sisters be on the what is it, the Titus 2 or the Wednesday class, and y'all be here.
It's just in the
organization. Bodies baskets.
Right.
Get these fruit snacks or whatever. And don't apply nothing. What the hell was you just on the class for the last 2 hours and you ain't applied nothing you heard last week or last month?
You know what it is, Cap? And I'm going to say it, and y'all can hate me if you want to. You still a damn Christian.
Damn.
That's just like sitting in the house playing gospel music all day. with what's the channel? That's you playing gospel music, watching TBN all day, and they did nothing. But you but you holier than everybody on earth.
Hearing the word but not a doer.
Right.
Damn.
The word and not a doer. Absolutely.
Damn.
And it goes into something. Can we play this video?
Yeah.
They like, no.
Oh, wait, hold up. Let me get the
Finish
verse 4.
Finish
Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
You got to be taught, sisters. You got to be taught. Because we grew up in Babylon, and a lot of y'all mamas and daddies brought you up on BS, or you, like last week, you was a latchkey kid. So you was having to just figure it out. So all you knew was a school lunch. All you knew was chocolate milk and nasty pizza. Granted, we thought it was good at the time.
That pizza.
And that pizza.
Hot Cheetos and cheese.
Hot Cheetos. That's all you knew. And then by the time you got to the house, it was just whatever was in there.
Yeah.
So we really gotta start to reform our minds, renew our minds, and understand that we gotta be taught. You have to be taught. It does not come. You loving your children, learning how to teach your children, learning how to feed your children does not come naturally. It does not come by osmosis. Because if it did, it wouldn't be written.
Right.
So it's nothing to be ashamed of to say I need to learn how to love my children. I gotta learn how to feed my children.
Right.
I think a big part of it is just pride. You feel like, well, damn, if I go and ask a sister about what she feeding her kids, she gonna say, oh, well, damn, you don't know how to feed your kids.
Look at me like I don't know.
Look at you upside your head like you. No, we got to come out. And if you are, sister, if you are doing that, if you are looking at sisters that are coming to you for godly advice, if you are looking at them crazy or side their head, you out the spirit. You got the devil on you. Right. Because God said that sisters got to learn how to love their husbands and raise their children. Right. And if you got certain skills and abilities to add to that sister's arsenal and vice versa, because we understand that iron sharpens iron. Right. Guess what? This nation, it's going to be built freaking yesterday.
Right. That's right. Go ahead. Now, real quick, I was going to say that's also one of the insecurities we deal with as a people is not wanting to look like we lack knowledge or information or skill in front of others. Right. Oftentimes, because we, like you said, we don't do the building up side of it. We like to shame each other, laugh at each other, so on and so forth. So we feel insecure to look inadequate in front of other people. Right. But that's what community is about. Right. Like you say, iron sharpening iron, teaching one another, building one another so we can restore the kingdom.
Right. Yes. Hey, let's let this play.
It says that the biblical definition of obey is to trust. When we are choosing not to obey our husbands, what we are saying is that we don't trust them. And if we don't trust our husbands, what is the likelihood of success in our marriage? Zero. And if you don't trust men, you won't obey men. And if you won't obey your husband, then you are out of God's order. It says that
That's that's what it is. You are outside. Why? Because unless your husband is in the house and he's just beating the crap out of your kids and treating your kids like crap, then guess what? The Bible says you need to learn how to love your children. What I found out since being in the truth is that the whole time we actually have an innate ability to love our kids. Why? Because we will protect them. We will feed them. Men will do what it takes to get what's needed to provide for their child. It might not be the biggest, the best, the greatest, but there's a lot of men, like the scriptures say, we'll come past land and sea to bring it back to the house. But that was just for the woman. So we know if we're going to do it for the woman, you're going to do it for the kids. So guess what, sis? If you don't know how, watch how your Lord deals with the children and glean from him so that you learn. And then go to the aged older women who raise kids and glean from them how they did with their kids. And you're going to learn how to deal with your children. That pride is what stops you.
She said a couple of key things. She said obey, and she said trust, and she said success, right?
Yes.
All that we have to agree upon. Give me Amos 3:3. Because how are we going to have a successful marriage longevity if you want to go right and I want to go left? Right? It's not going to work. Read that for me.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Unless you trust me. Trust me. Now, if you trust me, you're going to obey me. Then if we agree, we're going to have success. That's all I want to. Matter of fact, keep going.
Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey?
There's a couple analogies, right? Read.
Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth?
You see that, sis? It's not going to work unless you trust me, unless we agree, right? That's just off.
Can I get a scripture as well? Let me get Hosea 5:15. So similar to how the nation of Israel is with the Most High God, we thought that we knew a better way to go about living our life, and we was going to be successful in it. And you see where we at now. We got getting bricked upside the head and all kind of foolishness.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
A lot of times sisters be like, why is my husband, he's just not attentive? Like, I feel like he's not, is he not paying attention to me? I've had conversations with you before.
Right.
I don't think you're listening to me.
Right.
So obviously you've got a better situation or a better idea, or you think you do. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna return to my place. I'm gonna do the work that I know that I have to do, regardless if you want to do yours. Read.
Till they acknowledge their offense.
Eventually, because keep reading.
And seek my face. In their affliction.
In their affliction. Eventually you're gonna be like, damn, this is not going the way that I thought it was going.
Why is it so hard in my house?
Right, I feel like they always look at other people too whenever it's, I feel like this sister has it so well, I just need to, a lot of times when you go and speak to these other sisters, when you put away that pride that Captain was talking about and speak to these other sisters, you'll realize that one of the main components is they're probably listening to what their husband says and applying what he's saying, and they're successful in that. Because how can two walk together except they be agreed? That's the order that the Most High set up for the man to be the guide over the house and the sister to just follow. You got an easy job. Right. We especially if you got a husband with sons, you're like, I know how to live in a world, being a black man, being an Israelite man. So I know exactly what you need to do. My mama gave me sweets and trash. Yeah. Don't give them sweets and trash because it didn't do nothing for me. Yeah. I got an aching body because of all that stuff like that. You don't need to do that. Right. In your situation, all you got to do is say, okay, I'll praise my Lord. I'm going to do that. And you ain't going to have to deal with no affliction. All right?
That's it.
That's a bit of a bomb right there.
That's
Can I get
it.
the script real quick?
Yeah, bombs. Yeah, they drop all bombs at the wrong time. I've been hearing bombs, but they drop them for no reason. Just damn.
Get Ezekiel 16:44 real quick, because we talked about how the sister said the root to biblical obedience is trust, right? And again, on the topic of the insecurities, a lot of times one of the sisters said it last night. She said a lot of times the woman, especially black women, have a hard time trusting black men because of they don't feel secure in black men. They don't feel like they've been seen a good example, so on and so forth. And she said that it comes from a particular place. The Bible also says the same thing. Let's read it.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother.
As is the mother.
So is her daughter.
So is her daughter. And guess what? There's no way around it. You're going to do and repeat the things that you saw in the household growing up. So because you saw mom never have trust for the man, because you saw mom second guess everything, or you saw mom have, different men cycling in and out, never saw the right example of how to be in a proper family structure. Now you grow up and you wonder why you have insecurity. You have trust issues. You don't want to follow the guidance of another person because your mama was that way. But guess what? We always say we want to break generational curses. Right. And we always say it talking about money. How about we break the generational curses of distrust issues, the lack of obedience, the lack of communication, the lack of respect? We need to break those generational curses to rebuild ourselves as a people.
Hey, read verse 45.
Verse 45. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children.
That hated the husband and the children. So just like you're going to feed your husband crap, you're going to feed the kids crap. And guess what? You're going to eat crap. So as a result, that would have been a good place for a bomb.
Hey, also, you know how we be giving a sense. You know how we be giving a sense on the streets. Sometimes you'll do that in the middle of a conversation where you're like, no, what you're really saying is that's not what I'm saying. Like, no, that is what you're really saying.
You just said it.
That's what this is. A lot of times they don't want to admit, and that goes back to that taking accountability and like actually examining. You are saying what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. And that's a heavy point. I said it to my wife a lot. You really meaning this. That's what it's really
right.
Go ahead.
So it was a couple of points. We actually touched one of them. It was a couple of points, kind of moving past the food. I think sisters, we've beat the horse to hell and back. There's a couple of points in dealing with sisters' insecurity, and I asked y'all to come up with a couple of points. I came up with a few myself. One of them, we just saw the video. That sisters deal with distrust, disrespect, and masculinity. Now, y'all may have a few that y'all want to bring up. So let's deal with, and I'm gonna kind of go out of order. I'm gonna deal with the distrust first. And like I said, we've already just y'all pulled everything. Actually, let me deal with which one I want to deal with first. Y'all say something.
What you say? What Cap said? Masculinity,
Distrust and disrespect.
And disrespect. So disrespect. In what aspect, Cap? You mean they're being disrespected, or
hell no,
they
being disrespectful.
Being disrespectful. So a lot of times that disrespect oftentimes come from what men. What you give your wife sometimes is what she give you back, right? Vice versa, sisters. Listen, if you want your man to respect you, learn how to use soft language. You know what I mean? Soft communication.
Yeah, Proverbs 15.
Proverbs 15. Give me that scripture. Pull that. Give me that scripture.
All right, before we get it, okay,
Yeah.
I got what I want. Yeah, and then we'll jump. So I'm gonna go with the trust. So now I can hear the woman's voice echoing in my ear, and she's saying, "Well, a part of my distrust comes from his gross lack of his abundance of poor decision making over time, or he's in a particular position and I haven't seen anything that points me in a direction of, okay, he's gonna change or he's fixing it or he's whatever.
Any progress.
Right. Yeah, progress. Thank you. Progress into a different direction. So I hear the echoes. I hear the echoes. I want y'all to see something. Go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 5.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 5. For after this
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1.
This is kind of respect and trust, distrust, disrespect, all kind of in the same couple verses.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
So now Peter said likewise, right? Because when you jump up, and we're not going to read it, but when you jump up the chapter before, because this is just one long letter, so just take out the chapter 3, verse 1. Just take that out. When you go up, it's talking about how a servant should deal with a froward master. Look up the definition of froward, please, AV. If it's going to take y'all 40 minutes, then
they got it. They got it.
I think they got it.
They're going to do well.
But when you read verse 18, it talks about a froward master and a servant. All right, just let's go ahead and read while they're looking that up, please.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 18. Servants, be subject to
verse 3 and 1.
Chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives.
So likewise, ye wives, just like a servant must obey a froward master,
be in subjection to your own husband.
It says you be in subjection to your husband who may be froward himself. All right, so now we got a couple of definitions. Just go to Miriam. Okay, so it says, let's show it. It says habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition. Scroll down. Archaic, adverse. So it may be work, it could be his job situation. A lot of times it'd be money, as far as, issues and things like that.
Right.
Scroll down. Moving, tending, it's too many words. Mischievous, errant, naughty, contrary, misbehaving, bad, things like that. All right. So it says likewise. So just like you have a master that may be contrary, he may be errant, may be bad, misbehaving.
Right.
And it may not be so much, help me out with a word, where it's like really obvious or really big or really bad. It might not be so overtly
blatant.
Yeah, or blatantly naughty or bad, like beating you and stuff like that.
Right.
Not even that. Not even that. But it says, likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. Again, it may be the job situation. He lost his job. He's trying to he's okay, I'm going to go back to school or whatever. And you in your mind, you think, well, that's not the best. That ain't the best decision.
Right.
I want you to, now granted, brothers, you do need to go get it. You can go to school, But you need, I'm telling you, firsthand experience. 2017, I got fired. And I was without work for almost about 5.5 months. And it was hell. That 5.5 months.
Right.
I'm talking about every day it's a argument, complaint, fight, whatever.
Right.
Hindsight being 2020 because I was doing my entrepreneurial thing, like trying to get my loan signing agent thing going. Because I saw a course on YouTube, and I made a couple dollars. Hindsight being 2020 though, I would have just got me a little something either in the day or at night. I still could have been doing that, building it up, but just to bring something into the house. So I'm just personal experience. It says that. Oh, go ahead.
No. I ain't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Cap. Go ahead.
It says that
if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
So guess what, sisters? A lot of times you can move that man with how you speak to that man.
All right.
Just by what you're saying to that man. You'd be shocked. Pull that video. Go to that. I forget what number. Look it up for me, officer. It's one of the videos with the sister that said she had to learn how to talk.
Number
to
five. Is it 5? Number 5.
Now jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also.
So guess what? An example of our foremothers. Go ahead.
Who trusted in God.
They did what?
Who trusted in God.
They trusted God. Even throughout issues, situations, problems come up, lose the job, lose the car, lose this, lose that, whatever the case is. The scripture says our foremothers trusted God. Go ahead.
Adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
What did they adorn themselves? They adorn themselves with the fear of God, the laws of God, with the commandments to say, you know what? It's tough, but the scripture says, yo, I gotta speak life into my husband and pray to the Lord that he fix it, that he change, that he moves this way, that he navigate this way. Okay, let me say this. Let me prepare this so that he has something. So when he's going off to do, let me do it, as opposed to just complaining, just arguing, just voicing your disagreement, just voicing your complaint. You know what? Let me try something different. I've tried the complaint route. That didn't work.
Right.
Okay, let me try something different. Go ahead.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
So watch this. This is even with having a fraud. I'm not talking about Sarah. Even with, because Peter's saying with this fraud, we're still talking about a froward husband. Even with having the froward husband, she still called him Lord.
Right.
She still calls him Lord.
Right.
That's a part of you being able to speak life.
Right.
Using wise words. Using your speech to move that man to greatness.
Right. Yep.
Because like you said, if a man is willing to move mountains.
That's right.
For hoes in the street.
Yeah.
Let me just say it like that.
With
for,
a W.
for a whore in the street.
With a W.
A man will move bricks up and down 75 or 35 or whatever.
Right.
How much more a righteous man with a righteous woman speaking life into that man and saying, yo, I know how we gonna do. We gonna move this thing.
Right.
We gonna move us to the next level.
Right.
Yo, I got some. Yo, I seen this. Yo, I talked to such and such.
Right.
Yo, we can move this thing to the next level. Okay, yeah, you lost. Okay, but I know how to forget. Like you working, man. You moving that man to greatness.
Right. Right.
Now let's watch the video and then we'll go to Sirach 26.
Praises.
We're not gonna finish. We're not gonna finish. Go ahead.
I gotta always learn how to talk to the king in you. I don't care how mad I get. And I learned that in therapy, that for me to manifest the man that I wanted in my life, I had to learn how to always speak to him like the man I wanted in my life, even when I'm mad at him. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to speak to the man that I wanted in my life all the time. I needed to speak to him as that man. Even when we get upset with each other, there are rules. You don't hit below the belt. A lot of things and a lot of growing that I've done, but we've all got to get to that place.
That's 1 Peter 3.
Yeah.
Speak to the man that you want to see.
Yeah.
Speak to the king. Speak to the God in that man. And you got to use the scriptures. And a lot of times and this kind of blends in with the disrespect. A lot of times the disrespect comes from, and the distrust is just fear.
Yep.
It's fear.
Yeah.
So because we are born in sin, we shaped in iniquity. So our default is, okay, let me say some of the most disrespectful SH I can think of. And it's fear.
Yeah.
You ain't SH. What's wrong with you? You need to go to that. You need to, and why we ain't got this. And half of it is you just thinking about the crap that you see on Instagram that you want.
Right.
Rather than a level of contentment. And that's not to say you don't want a good car, a quality car, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But damn, you gotta that goes back to you examining yourself. Are half the complaints because of what I saw on Instagram? Because I saw the other sister got the 2-story, she got the 2,500 square feet.
Right.
But damn, you married, you got a roof over your head, you got
Right.
you know, you
The chief things
you're
in
eating
life.
every day, you're eating more than you need to every day.
Cap. The scriptures say that that's what a man provides for his wife. When it says that if a man does not provide for his own, especially they of his own household, it's talking about the chief thing.
Right.
Have we been kicked out on the streets?
Right.
Have the lights been off?
Bring it out.
Have you had food in your stomach?
Right.
Have you had the things that you need to be able to get through the basics of your day?
Right.
If so, shut up.
And you know, here's the thing, sis. You see all this stuff again because your brainstem. Like I said, we already said it earlier. We stay on social media too, but there's certain things that our expectation ain't just way out there. Sisters y'all expectations is just sometimes. But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong. You want to go on a cruise. You want to go on a vacation. You want to travel. You want a nice purse. You want the baddest car. Whatever the case is. Okay, you may not be able to get everything, but just have a level. Just have some sort of
contentment.
Not contentment.
Oh, okay.
Not appreciation. If you want to, out of the list, out of the vacation. What's these nice purses? Give me a nice purse. Michael Kors or
I mean the things that
Louis
we can actually
V,
Louis,
whatever.
Yeah, Gucci bag.
The Audi 500, if that's even a car, I know Audi. The Audi 500, the 2-story house, 2,500 square feet minimum, and you got a list of 5 different things.
Right.
Is it possible that we could just kind of whittle it down to, out of this list, if I go on a vacation, just a nice vacation once a year, I'm content, I'm good.
Right.
We can work with that.
Yes.
But I'll be damned if I'm finna crack my back and work for Esau for 80 hours a week.
Right.
Because you have these expectations that only a white man or a white woman could fulfill.
Yeah.
No, the scripture says we are yet this day in our captivity.
Right.
And I know for us, especially in these last days, I'm talking about for the men, because we are really having to transform our minds to understand that big house that you want. 2 Ezra 16, the prophecy says that's gonna get ran into.
Right.
Yep.
Our goods are gonna be rifled.
Yes.
That's not the word. It's your goods, Hebrews. What does it say? Yes, spoiled. Thank you. It says your goods are going to be spoiled. So there's a our minds are just different. Our minds are wrapped around the prophecies and understand that
it's a level of consciousness of the prophet.
Consciousness.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
We're conscious about certain things, especially these last days.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we understand that in this life, we got the cares of the world, how to please our wives. So sisters, y'all got to have that. Your minds got to be geared towards our minds. And at the same time, we understand that, okay, there's certain things that are going to please you, like the vacation or whatever.
Right.
But pick something. That is all I'm saying. Damn.
Right.
You maybe your mind is kind of tended towards cars. Okay, well, how you going to help your Lord tend towards that? Because that's what you like.
Right.
But if it's gonna be the car and the house and the purse and I can't do that. I got a whole nation I'm trying to rebuild.
Right.
And I'll be damned if 75% of that time is towards maintaining the estate of this world and trying to give you a bunch of crap where moth and rust doth corrupt. I'm trying to build my treasures in heaven.
That's right. That's right.
We not look what I look like, Boo Boo the damn fool, trying to what did it say? What's that saying? Where you trying to please?
Oh yeah, the Joneses.
Keep up with the Joneses, and you trying to impress folk that don't know your last name,
right?
Unless it's Israel.
Yep.
But you trying to impress all these people for what? You trying to impress people at work that hate your damn guts. You crazy?
That's a non-believer though. That's a non-believing spirit.
Yes.
That's a non-believing
no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you can read the prophecies as much as Bishop has been bringing out 2 Ezra 16.
Yeah.
Hebrews 10 or Hebrews 11. There's no way that in 2023 in Biden's America, you got your brainstem wrapped around how do I get this $1 million house or this $800 purse?
Or Benz.
Oh my God.
You know, black women love Benzes, I believe.
Yeah, the Benz or whatever the hell. Y'all got to be out y'all mind.
For a brief second there on your righteous rant, man, you was kind of glowing a little bit.
Hey, did you see that? You saw that?
Light was kind of illuminating
Right.
behind him.
You understand? That's because his melanin takes in it holds in radioactivity and it pushes it out as a
glow.
Exactly.
Shout out to Deke, bro.
That soul
Hey,
glow.
I've been big on that ever since.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, I'm black as hell, but I'm glowing.
Yeah, bro. Sirach 26. As we wind down, we gotta because I gotta go over the other points next week. So we'll continue on next week. Lord's will life last. But let's go to Sirach 26. Let's read verse. What I want to read, y'all. 14. What 14 say? Nah. 13. I like that. Let's just start at verse
6.
1. Yeah, and we can jump around.
You said verse 1?
Yep.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife.
Hey, do me a favor, AV. Look up virtue. Virtue. In the background, y'all look up virtue.
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
So guess what? You can double your husband's life by your virtue. Now let's look up the definition of virtue. Ooh, we got to spell it right. I'm glad y'all didn't put that out publicly. Y'all from South Dallas.
Damn, Verdu.
That's Nishan back
All right, let's show it. Damn, come on, show it. Let's go. All right. Behavior showing high moral standards. Goodness. They use the word to explain the word. Righteousness, morality, ethicalness. Hit the little bottom, the little arrow.
Oh, nope.
Okay.
The other
That's
arrow,
cool.
brothers.
Good quality, asset, what is it? Maidenhood, chastity, chasteness, virginity. All right, scroll down. Make a virtue of, derive benefit or advantage from, submitting to, because or as a result of, they achieve preeminence by virtue. Okay. All right, so read this again. Scroll up on it. Read it.
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife.
Has a wife that is ethical, that's moral, that's righteous, that's good, that has good qualities. Come on.
For the number of his days shall be double.
Because she's not going to stress him the hell out over what they ain't got.
That's right.
She's going to look to help and help build what they already got.
Right.
That's what she's looking to do. She's not a complainer.
Or make the best use of what they have.
She's going to make the best use of what they got.
That's right.
Go ahead.
A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
Because it's peaceful not having to work 2 and 3 jobs to
That's
try to
right.
keep up with the Joneses.
That's
the
right.
Joneses ain't paying your bills.
Right.
The Joneses need to buy the purse.
Right.
If it's just like that, can the Joneses buy you the $800 purse that you trying to impress? Can the Joneses buy the Audi?
Bring it out.
Can the Joneses buy the 2,500 square foot
Talk to him.
2-story house?
I don't even like the Joneses. I never like
And the
them.
Joneses don't like you.
And
they
never
don't like
liked
me
them.
neither.
They never like them.
That's them niggas from over there on Main Street.
I ain't studying.
Come on.
A good wife is
a good wife or a virtuous wife
is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
So guess what? A virtuous woman, a woman of high moral character that has good standard about herself, that understands that, you know what, I need to help my husband. I need to speak life into that man. I need to speak greatness into that man. I need to speak to the God, the King in that man. That's what I need to do.
Right.
God said she fears the Lord.
That's right.
That's the woman that fears the Lord.
That's right.
The woman that dogged her husband out, he ain't SH. She complain all the time. That's all she know how to do is complain. There's no scriptures that proceeds out of her mouth. She don't fear God. It is what it is, sisters. Thus saith the Lord. So with that, Lord's will, life lasts. Next week, we will continue on because I got more points. Subscribe and follow IUIC Dallas, Instagram at IUIC Dallas, Facebook at IUIC Dallas, TikTok at IUIC.Dallas, YouTube at IUIC Dallas. Make sure y'all like and subscribe IUIC_Levant so we can reach our people in the diaspora. Lord's will, life lasts. We'll see y'all back here next week. Y'all are tuning in to Scripts Reloaded.
The wise man said, contemplating how to fix it as I lay in my bed. What I say, what I do, who to call, what is true, who to blame, me or you. We both know what to do, right? Last night we didn't agree on something simple and it escalated quickly. Other issues, it